So hi everyone. So today we would be doing another project on TensorFlow production pipeline. So in this project there would be two parts. In the first part today we would be discussing the whole pipeline of the whole project, and the next part we would be discussing about the ML metadata, that how ML metadata is actually useful when it comes to production pipeline projects. And through this video and in this particular tutorial or collab notebook, you can actually get a practice of the TFX because we have been actually talking about TFX from a very long time, but there was not a complete full project that we have started from the very start to the end. We have particularly talked about all the components, but not the whole project. So today we would be starting for that only. So I would be sharing as usual the link to this notebook in the description section. You can go there and download it or actually play in the collab itself. So the first thing that we are going to do is import the means just upgrade the pip, because it's very important for you to upgrade the pip for making sure that TFX runs. And then we have installed TFX here. Once you have run this cell and the TFX has been done, just go and restart the time. This is how collab works when it comes to new packages. Now starting with the whole project, we are importing the very basic libraries, and I would just import them all. Now we are also importing seeing the TF version and the ML metadata version. So you can see it's 1.9.1 and the MLMD version is this. So let's look at the dataset. So we are using the penguins dataset, and you must be knowing about this as we have used this dataset in different projects before also. So this is the whole dataset, and we process the dataset by leaving out incomplete records and drop island index in 6 columns and convert it in 32 labels. So through this we would be downloading the dataset, and we have just did that. And now we would be creating an interactive context. If you have seen my previous videos on TensorFlow extended, you must be knowing that to run TFX components interactively in this notebook, we will create an interactive context. So it uses a temporary directory with an MLMD database instance. So we call interactive context a no ops outside the collab notebook. So it is generally good practice to group similar pipeline under a same context. So we would just run this, and yeah, we have just called it. So a TFX pipeline consists of several components that perform different aspects of the ML workflow. So in this notebook, we would be using for now these seven: the example gen, statistics gen, schema gen, example validator, trainer evaluator, and pusher. We have talked about all of them in different videos. If you want to see, you can go to TFX pipeline playlist and just see. So the first thing we are going to do is run the example gen component. We would run this, and you can see we have defined it whole. We have called it from the TFX components, and we have just using that same interactive context dot run and running that. Now we would just see the examples. So they are getting stored in the file for future things. Now if you want to see, this is the whole thing. I know it must be looking a bit confusing right now, but I would highly recommend you, if you are doing a proper project on TFX, you must go and study about TFX first, each component. It would make things easy for you only. Once we have done that, we will look at statistics gen, and we would just run it, and this time we would be able to see some good examples. The visualization would be really nice because obviously it's showing us the statistics. So as you can see, I would just remove the dark mode to make things clearer for you. Yeah. So as you can see, this is the whole chart, everything. You can just look at the whole statistics of all the data, the feature order, non-uniformity, amount, missing zeros, everything you can see here. So it's really nice. This feature actually helps you while you are building a whole pipeline. You want to just check the schema and statistics of the whole data part, so it makes things easier for you. So this is one thing. Then we would be running the schema gen, and you can see here, yeah, it would actually get stored, but the table would be visible to you. So I would just run the, yeah, you can see the feature name, the presence is required, the type of which they are present, the feature which we are using are 5 features. So flipper length, the Kuhlmann length, and Kuhlmann depth, body mass, and species. These are the 5 features which we are using here. Now we would use an example validator. To be honest, this was something which is not important, but I would still recommend you to just use this to check the anomalies or any particular blessings of the data. For this particular data set, there won't be any anomalies, and yeah, this is the best thing for a data scientist to see, that no anomalies have been found. But this usually doesn't happen, when we are working on a very big data set created by you or researched by you. Chances are there would definitely be some anomalies present. This is a very famous and worked on data set. That is the reason you are not seeing something here. So now it's the trainer module file. We are running the trainer component, and we are defining everything here. The training algorithm, that would be, we are calling all the TFX thing, the all metadata part. We are labeling the feature, the label key, the feature keys are these 4, and then inside the file we are training everything. This is the model which we are training. See, keras.layers.concatenate in the dense layer, the model inputs, compiling it with Adam optimizer, the sparse categorical cross entropy. We are doing everything here. So it's the trainer is obviously this only, if you have seen my video on trainer. So the writing you can see here. Now we would run the trainer component, and we are, you see one thing here, in trainer component we are giving it example, schema, and then the training part. So you see one thing, how whole pipeline is being created here, means everything that you did from the very start, the example gen that you created, the schema gen that you created, it's being used here. If you have, I would again say it, if you are not able to get the reason we are using example gen here or schema gen, it takes time to explain everything. So just go to the particular videos which we have covered already on this channel, so it would help you actually relate to that. So you can see we have just used the trainer to train it. For the accuracy increased very gradually, 44 to 81, and this was the loss. So yeah, things look good till here. Now we would be running the evaluator component. We would be serving our model here. So serving model is definitely one of the most important thing when it comes to whole pipeline creation, because serving model directory specifically has self APIs created by TensorFlow team. So we would talk about whole model serving in one separate video for sure. And this is the evaluation configuration. We are giving the same metrics here, the class name, the threshold, everything we are defining here, and we have just talked about this also. Now just let's run the evaluator part. And after evaluation, what you do after checking the whole pipeline, you have created test, you have just used example gen, you have seen your data, you have did everything with your data, you have trained even the model, you have done everything. Now what is the last part? The last part is the pusher component to actually use your push your whole data, whole model into a production proper pipeline. So this is the trainer components. We are taking the model output, trainer output, that is the model from it, and we are taking the blessings of the means obviously not that blessing, but if you talk about what is blessing in machine learning, it's actually the evaluator output that you get from a particular evaluation of a model. So we are just defining the pushing destination, that proto.push destination. This is the file system and the base directory of serving model file. So we would just do that, and a model is, and we have created a whole production pipeline here, even though it's not working right now because we are not supplying data from initial stage again and again. But this is how a whole project or proper pipeline is being created using TFX. This is a very small part because we are using a very small data, and we are not doing anything with the data because the data was already perfect. We are not using the visualization, but this is an instance of how a prediction pipeline is being created. In the next video we will be talking about the MD database storage. The reason the metadata is very important for ML, we would be talking about that in detail. This would be that notebook would be continuation of this notebook only. So till then you can go and play with this notebook. So this was it for the video. Thank you and have a nice day.